This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, good evening, guys.
Hello. Hello. Is it audible now? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yep. No issues. That's a small. That's a small issue there. No issues. Okay.
Now audible.
Yeah. Thank you. We were working on list methods, right? You remember? It's a good session last time. We had a. We have implemented many methods of list class. Also, these were not just methods of list, but uh, I can say these are methods of traversable and iterable as well as sequence as well. And we know we have come across so many methods. Today we will close this. Let's finish this today, and from tomorrow we can switch to the other classes, other implementation classes of the hierarchy. And here we have seen all this stuff, like the collect method, distinct, flat and flat map updated. All this we have discussed in the last class, and even we have discussed these methods. Probably I don't think so. We have implemented these methods, but we had just a discussion on this in the last class, if I'm not wrong. So today we'll close this. Let's take this as no. Let's take this session as an agenda to complete all other methods of these interfaces as well as this list class. So we know what collect does. We had already discussed in the last week. Okay, and we know def means gives difference of two lists. Distinct means gives unique values. Flatten, you know what it does. Flat, it will convert list of lists into a single list. Flat map, it applies flattening and then applies map function. Map means, right, it is an iterator where it performs, it will apply a functionality on each element of a list. That's what it is. And map function, that's what I am talking here. Reverse the list of elements. Just sort the elements based on probably uh, some key, or based on the condition you apply there. And then updated updates a value. Union combines two lists. Okay. And then zip is nothing but probably again this is also collection of pairs by matching the list with the elements of collection. We'll see with small examples here. Okay. So this is the example. We have list of elements here, and then we are applying reverse. It will just reverse the elements. Distance gives unique elements. Collect, we are applying some incrementation on each element here. If you see here, so that's what we are incrementing each element of the list here by 100 here. We can apply a partial function with collect here. You can see this is a partial function which is anonymous here. So that's what we can do with collect. And you can implement whatever business logic with collect on this list of data. That's what you can do here. And then after that, the next thing is difference. Suppose you can see the A dot diff of C means it will gives the difference of these two lists A and C, and then we have two lists here. Again, one is lily rose, the second one is apple and banana, and when you apply flattening on that, it converts lists of lists into a single list. That's what it does here. And then again, Z is there here. If you see to uppercase anyhow, we know that what it does, and we are passing that function inside a map here. You can see, we had already implemented map in the last session, very well. Okay, so what we are doing, we are iterating each string in the list and we are converting it to a uppercase, and that's what we are doing here. So next one after that is a flat map. Flat map is almost similar to map. The difference is it will apply flattening on this strings, means again string is converted to letters. On top of that, we apply uppercase. Sorted means it will sort everything with by default it will apply some sorting on this data, probably default sorting here. And sorted with means this is more or less doing the comparison here. Underscore greater than underscore means we are applying a placeholder there. By default it chooses values in place of placeholder. Usually this is for one kind of it provides one kind of order. Less than provides another opposite order. We'll see that with output. Y dot zip of Z means combines Y and Z, both of these lists into a single list as pairs. Actually, as a pair, we'll see that with output. And zip with index means along with that it also gives us indexing. Let's test it and see the outputs. It's not something really difficult to understand. Okay, these are all simple things. Just let me open Eclipse here. So we are missing Bharat today. Probably he's having some busy with his projects till this whole week. I'm just waiting to Eclipse to start here. Oh, this is clear, right? You understood those methods, right? All of you. See, most of this we have discussed, but today we have a few more methods added to this. That's all. Now you can see reverse is something which reverse the list. Distinct uses unique elements. We will just run it and observe the outputs. Okay, this is the output. Now the first one is reversing elements. You can see there the elements got reversed here. Probably that's perfectly, we are seeing that, and in that process we are missing 10. Can you see there? It removed duplicate. Okay, probably let me add one more just to test it once. Comma 5, comma 20. Does this remove duplicates while doing reverse? Let me check it out. Correct. It will reverse by removing duplicates. That's what this is doing here. Okay. Reverse instance not in sorted order. It reverses it as is. Okay. It reverses the elements as is. Okay, got it right. Can you see that? So it is coming 10, 5, 27, and then 30, and then 17, and then 40, and rest of the other elements are ignored. That is one important thing. Distinct means it gives you what? 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. I think am I looking in for wrong? Wrong is correct. I am wrong, guys. Sorry, I was thinking this for the reverse. It's my mistake. So this is reverse. So it doesn't remove duplicates, guys. This is perfect. It's doing good. Okay. Reverse, just simply reverse the elements. It didn't do anything. This is the first one reverse. Sorry, I got confused there. So reverse is perfectly good. It doesn't remove any duplicates. Okay. I am looking the second one for reverse. Okay, that's the mistake from my side. So now I think it's clear for all of us. Second, no duplicates. You can see distinct means without duplicates. And third one, you can see every element in the list is incremented by 100 here. If you see 110, 105, 120, you can see that. And then after that, difference A dot diff of C. This is A, this is C. What do you get here? This is the difference. What do you get? 7, 30, 17. So means what's happening here? It is 10 minus 10. When you say A minus C, what happens now? So what it is giving here? 7, 30, 17, 40, 10, 5, 20. Means which were removed here? You can see 10, 5, 20. And then whichever are, you can see here, whatever that is there common here between A and C, whatever that is there, the elements of C in A, they are removed here. If you see 10, 5, 20 here are present in A here, they got removed. A minus C means whatever elements of C which are present in A are removed. That's what happened with the minus. Okay. So we are removing elements of C. A minus C means the elements of C got removed from A. If you say C minus A, it might be a different answer. Okay, let me just quickly check it. C dot diff of A. Let's try this also. What happens here? Now we got 1, 2, 3 because why? From whatever elements that are there in A are removed from C here. C minus A means whichever are common between A are removed from C here. And 1, 2, 3 is present here. So that should be clear for everyone. And then flatten, I don't need to explain. We had a discussion. What it does, it will combine these two lists into a single list. That's what happens here. It will combine lists of lists into a single list. Okay, that's what flatten did here. Nothing more than that. You can see there. And then after that, map function. Map, it is converting. Right? You can see every string is converted to uppercase here. If you see, that's what map is doing. Flat map, it applies flatten on every string, means each string gets converted to letters like this. Again, those letters are converted to uppercase. That's what happening here. And then sorted means we are applying sorted on Y. Y is nothing but you can see there, yeah, apple, banana, lily, and rose. They are alphabetically sorted. It's more like default natural sorting. It is doing sorting in upper, right, in incrementing order or alphabetically sorted. Okay. And now you are applying one more. You are applying greater than. When you say greater than on, you are applying on Y again here. Okay, right? When you apply on Y, so what's Y doing here? Rows. This is your Y means is of list means. So you are getting rose, lily, banana. It's in reverse order. Can you see that? Can you see? It's in reverse order. And the other one again, less than gives you ascending, greater than gives you descending. That's what it is doing, sir. Nothing more than that. And then finally, zip means you can see both the elements from Y and Z are combined into a pairs here. Y means Y has Lily, Rose, Apple, Banana. Z has Lemon, Sprite, Mano, Vijay. Lily and Lemon into one pair. Rose and Sprite into one pair. Then Apple and Mono into one pair. Banana and Vijay into one pair. Okay. And then we'll zip with index. Right? If you see Y dot zip with index means each string is given an index here. If you see this, this is what happening here. And these are simple methods which we can use. Among all this, the most important methods are collect, distinct, and reverse. Probably reverse is rare, and then map, flat map are very crucial. Sorted, it's not always not that important. Okay, got it right. But it's good to know how it works. Okay, is it clear to all of you, or any questions? All of you are clear, sir? Can I get any yes or no from you? Any yes, no? Okay, thank you. Got it right? I hope you are clear now. Please test it once, sir. Then we will switch to the another set of methods. Copy and paste. Okay, Madhu, sure. Okay. So I am copying, I am pasting. Okay, please take it, or everyone can take it, sir. It's for you. Finish it quickly, then we will switch to the next set of methods on list again. Let's see, list is a bit of a test match kind of application for us now, because we are testing so many methods. Is it done, sir? Please upload latest Scala sessions. Okay, Sandeep, I will do it today. Sorry, I forget it yesterday. That's the only thing. Sure, today I will do it. All of you are done, sir? Okay, let me switch to the next set of methods. There are so many methods here. Probably I don't think I am focusing on all this, but we focus on something important here, because so we don't need these many slices here. Okay, index of slice, you can see there are so many. Okay, contains slice is fine. If that particular part slice means some substring is present in the, or subset of list is present in a list or not, or a sequence. Count means number of elements, ends with right, whether it ends with a sequence of elements. Find uh, just the first element that matches the condition. Okay, for all something like collect probably. Then index of, returns the index of first occurrence of element. The second method here, index of e comma I. This one, if you want to check for next occurrence, then you can choose the second method, which is overloaded. Index of slice just checks for again whether a part of substring is subset of list is present in the sequence or not. Index of slice of means again similar to index of the other one. Suppose if you want to see that if a slice is present, it checks for the first occurrence. This one checks for first occurrence. This one checks for next occurrence. Suppose if you want to see the same list of sub list of elements are present somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the end of the list, then you can choose second method. Index, where the index of first element it is checking based on some condition. Again, similar to the index of slice method, like somewhere index of p, where p comma I means again this is a different thing. We'll see if we are checking this. The index of first element where predicate p returns true, searching only from the value of the start index. Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure about it, folks. We will check and analyze it. Okay, is defined at, suppose if some element is there at some index, it returns true. Is empty, checks whether it is empty or not. Last index of, similar to index of returns first occurrence of element, or somewhere in the middle occurrence, next occurrence, or third occurrence, fourth occurrence. Last index of means whether it will see whether this it is last occurrence. Okay, index of the last occurrence of element in the list. Okay, last occurrence. Again, e comma I means again if you want to choose somewhere else, okay, then you should choose this one. Means if you want to choose somewhere before, index of checks next occurrence, this will check for right, before occurrence. Okay, not the last one. Last index of slice, again similar to the index of slicer. Last index of slice, this is also similar to the next method. Okay, and even these are also similar. Next one, max min, I don't need to explain. Returns max element for max. For min, returns min element. Then okay, and size returns number of elements in the list. There are so many else here, you don't need everything here. And then sum, anyhow, return sum starts with, again right, just see if it begins with subset list, a list of subset, sorry, if it is having a subset of elements in a list, then it will see if it is starting with that subset elements, and starts with, again similar to the, again if you want to check in the next list of elements, then we use the second method. Sum, it's just gives the sum of all elements in the list. Fold means it performs folding, means it's a kind of what is that is uh, it's more like doing some cumulative operation. Some kind of binary operation is performed, and also it applies some reduce operation on that. Reduce means group of values are converted into a single value. That's what this fold is happening. Fold left means it will do from definitely left to right. You can see there. It's more like you call it as a reduce left, something like that. Fold right means it will do from right to left. It's more or less internally a binary operation is performed, and we don't need to get into that binary operation now. It's not necessary. Okay, and all these are like this. Let's see if we are implementing all those, because I didn't choose everyone to be implemented here. Well, if you are, I choose few, which I thought which is very important here, because others we can skip that. Now you can see in this program I have focused on the important methods here. One is contains up to. You can see that we have created list of different lists here: events list, arts list, PB, something like group of strings here, and then group of what is that? It's a string, not group of strings. Sorry, FBB is one string. First 10 this gives list of first 10 elements of 5 to 15. One more list, and empty is one more list. Letters A to F. We have letters here. Okay, like this we created different lists here. On that we are applying a couple of methods. One is if events contain two is there, definitely it returns true. If it second thing is if it contains slice, yes, list of 2 comma is there. This is a subset, and this subset whether this subset list is present in the actual list, yes, that is there, it returns true. And even same thing, like other kind of methods you have observed, right? Index slice something like that. Even those methods work in a similar way. Count means you can see here this can be we can apply a condition, and also we can see if you can see there all the even numbers which is divisible by 2. It gives number of even numbers here. We can pass a predicate to this count and apply some condition on that, and then it will count all those which satisfies this condition. Probably this should give you 5 first 10, right? This probably should return 5 because we are applying if just to see if all the count of even numbers here. Okay, when you can pass directly the condition in the method itself. Okay, and then ends with, what it does. If this list is ending with 9 comma 10, probably first 10 is ending with 9 to 10, then this returns true, and this method count returns 5. Probably we'll see it when we run the code. Exists means if this condition is satisfied, what is that? If p greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so this is the condition, it must be satisfied. Probably all the elements greater than 5, probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that should return because all these elements are there in that list. We'll see with the output. Okay, find means we are checking whether p is greater than 1. If it is there, then if that condition is satisfied, probably it will return true. We'll see that in the output. For all means for all elements it is trying to get p is less than or equal to 10. We'll just see and check it out. It's more like for loop. We will just observe with output. Okay, index of anyhow 5 comma 5 means it is returning index of 5 probably, and index of 5 comma 5 means first 10, right? We're trying to see the it will apply some function, that is map function. Filter means it will we apply a condition with filter. Whatever the element satisfies the condition, those elements are fetched. That's what filter does. Map, anyhow, just now we had discussed. Flat map, right? It will apply flattening and apply map function. So this is because why I try to again bring those into discussion here, because even these are important: map, flat map, filter, reduce, okay, collect, take, okay, this and many more are there. Okay, so these are all very important methods. Okay, so sir, we'll just test it once quickly, and then because with output we understand few things clearly. Now let's run it. So true, that's fine. We understood that. Third one, as discussed, it gave 5. Fourth one is it ends with 9, 10. It's true. And fifth one is all elements that are greater than or equal to 5 exist, so it returns true. And if any element is not greater than, then we don't get that. It returns false. And right, find if it is p greater than 1. Definitely it is returning what? If p greater than 1, it returns it is returning true here, 2, sorry. And we are applying on first 10, right? First to 10. First to 10 is this. We have 1 to 10 elements. And what this is returning here? 1 to 10 means, and this is returning the element which is greater than 1, that is 2. 2, and that is written in the form of option, because find returns option. So you don't have an audio? Hello? 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 Hello?
Sir, Vinipison, sir, audible. Yeah.
Did you guys miss the audio so far?
No,
No,
sir,
everything
no,
is
not at.
So did you miss anything from my discussion or?
No,
no.
sir, no.
Okay. I think seems like Madhu, I think you have some network issue because others are fine. I'm not sure if it is a problem from my side. Okay. So I was analyzing the output actually. Yes, a find method. Find method means it returns option, and also something greater than 1 is 2 in this list actually, first 10, and that value is returned and in the form of sum, you know very well, because usually option returns 2 values. If the value for which we search is present, it returns some object, otherwise it returns none object. All of you know that. Okay. And then for all which are less than or equal to 10, p less than or equal to 10 means from 1 to 10 it will see if all these elements are present. Then if all elements are there, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. You can cross check as well. And then 5, you know, right, this is something which is we are not searching properly, because this is first 10. In first 10, what we are doing now, the index of 5 is good. Okay, let me just show you like this. Index of 5, let me show you this first. That is 4. Correct. So again we are asking to search for index of 5 after fifth element. After fifth element, do you think any other element in the first 10 elements will have 5 here? Tell me. Will have 5, because already we got the index of 5. The index of 5 is 4. Now what you are telling, now you are asking to search for 5. Okay, now you are asking for what? You can see here 44. Oh, sorry, we can see here the index of 5 is 4. If you have any doubt, you can check 1 to 10. Index starts from 0. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The index of 5 is 4. Okay, now what you are saying, 5 comma 5 means search for 5 after fifth index. Okay, do you have Any element after 5? No. Suppose search for 8 after 5th index. Is it possible? We'll just try this. Correct. You got it right here. 7 is there, right? That will work. You understood how it works? So the first element is index of, in this we have two parameters. The first one is the element for what you should search. Okay, the index of the element for what you are searching. The second one is after what index you should search it. That is the second one. Okay, got it right clearly? Any doubts on that, sir? And reduce is more or less doing just a reduction operation. When you give first 10 elements, all the 10 elements got converted into a single element, that is 55, and you applied some plus on that. That's what happened here. Okay, you can apply minus on that, you can apply into on that. Let us, out of my curiosity, I'm just checking here. Okay, so apply minus. Let us see if this works. Curious case of Manohar here, that's all. Yes, you got some minus 53. Okay, again I want to apply into, that is also a reduction. Okay, you got something there. You can, that will be a perfect output. We don't need to worry about it. Machine doesn't lie. So apply percentile. Let's see what happens. You got some 1 here finally. Okay, but anyhow, usually most of the time, more than minus, more than into, more than percentile or division, we perform plus for reduction. Okay, more than anything else. That's what I have seen. Not really the other operations. Okay, and this is a simple, remember, underscore plus underscore, it's right somewhere long time back we had discussed this in lambda functions. Okay, it's more or less a simplified form of lambda where underscore plus underscore are placeholders. In place of them, reduce an iterator. First, initially first two values are passed to this. Okay, first two values are passed, then they get what is that, added. And again what happens, again the result is added to next element. In that way it performs what it is a cumulative sum here. Okay, what do you mean by cumulative sum? After each addition the result is added to the next element. That's what it's called, cumulative sum. Okay, or cumulative product, cumulative difference, like that what we call. Okay, so that's all, sir. Please test it once. These are most important methods, sir. Please test it. I will copy and paste in the chat box. So if it is done, just please ping me, sir. Just ping me. Okay, folks, let's move to the next one. Probably this should be the last set of methods. All of you are clear so far? Any questions? Okay, fine. I assume that you don't have questions. So now you see, sir, here grouping methods. Okay, group by grouped, partition, sliding, span, splitted. These are all grouping methods, sir. Group by means suppose you pass a key based on that condition or key, grouping is done. Suppose you take the example like employee salaries. You have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 like this. When you say group by sal, all employees of 10,000 will comes under one category. All employees of 20,000 will comes under one group. All employees of 30,000 will comes under one more group. I think most of you know this. If you are having some SQL idea, that's same thing, right? Same thing. Even in Scala, many methods which you use here will have a strong connection with SQL as well. Okay, because when you go to Spark, you have Spark SQL. There we are going to do, this kind of methods are really useful there. Okay, got it right. Now, group by, what it does, it collects just simply groups into, does some grouping based on some kind of condition or a function. Okay, grouped means it breaks the list into fixed iterative collections. Okay, there is one more. Next one, partition means it's more or less, what is that? Partition is like a part of your this thing, creating a list into different partitions based on some condition. And then sliding, again, grouping elements into fixed size blocks by using this. We'll see with example. Okay, span is a collection of two collections. The first created by list take while, and the second created by list drop while. So this is span here. By applying these two functions, the span is free. This works internally, probably not directly. Split it. Suppose you want to split it as per a particular index, then you can choose split it. Then unzip means, right, opposite to zip. So it will break collection into two collections by dividing into pairs of values into two different collections. Okay, we'll see with examples. That's easy to understand. More that this is only just to get a quick idea. Still, if you didn't get anything here, let's understand with example. Okay. So this is simple. First 10 means we are creating list of 10 elements here. We are just applying a tuple or tuple, what you can pronounce as you like. We are converting it, applying a casting to the list. All the tuple gets converted to the list, and it appears like this. And you are saying group by, you can see greater than or equal to 5. Means when you say this, probably all the elements which are greater than 5 will fall into one group, which are less than 5 should fall into one more group. Anyhow, we will quickly test it, sir, one by one, so it's easy to understand quickly. Okay, I'm just testing it quickly. Okay, method by method to get a more clarity on each and every method quickly. And this is of course last set of methods for today. We have almost closed those methods. Let me run this. Probably if you print it, that should be fine for us. When you print it, you get a clarity what the GMap is doing. Group map, what it means is, okay, let me run this. Yeah, correct. You can see that we had just discussed, right? We have applied a condition. All the elements which are greater than or equal to 5 will fall under one group. You can see there it is giving a map here. If you look at the output, see there, you can see there. So true means because you are applying a condition, right? If it is satisfied, then it returns true here. All that is into one list here. And false means the other part, it is assigning false, because that condition, we are not applying that condition there. We are asking to search for elements which are greater than or equal to 5 to the rest of the list. So it took false for the previous list. Okay, and you can see that it's split into two lists here. That's what happened here. And even same thing happened for this one also, the second one. The difference is, in the first case, we are directly printing it through println. In the second case, we are initializing that result to be a variable, and we are preserving that result, and this is nothing more than that. And it's giving a map there. The return type of group by returns a map. It puts all those collections, that divided collections, grouped collections into the map, and that map is written back. That's what happened here. Okay, is that fine? And then okay, get true means probably it will get all the elements which are assigned to true here. You can see here, right, in the output. When you say get true, means you are passing the key, and the key is associated with a value list. All the elements which are associated with true are returned when you say that get method there. Okay, like like this, when you say map has this method, right? You remember. Anyhow, we do rigorous, we do more deeper with map concept. Okay, here something like gmap dot get up, something like true. It returns the list, okay, which is having key as true. True has a list of values starting from 5 that you get here. You can see that. Okay, of course it is using option internally. That option returns sum here. We know how to get value from sum as well. On top of that, just apply again get. That will work. Okay, if this is giving you sum and apply get on this, okay, then you get only the list there. You can see that Now you are missing some there, okay? That we had discussed, not now, we have discussed it long back, and number of times this has been discussed, okay? Next one, grouped means this will divide into two groups. Okay, let's just test it quickly, all these methods. So what grouped will do? Group by will group as per the condition. Grouped means divide your list into two partitions, okay? Two blocks. We'll see whether it has equal number of elements or not. Oh, okay. So means what's happening here? It is grouping all the elements into pair of elements, not what I am trying to. My analysis is wrong here. I said it will break down into two blocks. It's not correct. You can see the output. Based on output, I don't need to explain. That is perfectly clear for all of us. So when I say grouped of two, it divided the list into blocks, correct? But each block having two elements. That's what happening here, right? So that's all. Again, the other one just we are just applying a casting to the list. That's all. We didn't do anything. And the third one, probably you can see grouped of two is giving some non-empty iterator. So non-empty iterator means internally, right? You have all the list of values, but it is not returning list directly. So that's why we are applying casting in the second case. You can see there here at this point, right here. In the first case, this returns non-empty iterator. That is also an object. It holds data internally. If you iterate it with some for loop, you can see the data. But not to have such a not to have that big issue, we just apply a casting so that it's easy to observe the data, right? Instead of iterating and seeing the output, we just apply casting to the list. Data is directly visible to us. That's what we have done in the second case and third case here. If you look at this grouped of two dot to list, grouped of five dot to list, okay? Is that fine? After that, the next thing is partition. Probably this will again work like group by, but let us see how this is going to work. Let's see the output and understand, because few things it's better to analyze with outputs. Again, we got it like partition, perfectly dividing the right into two partitions. Here, not like the previous case. What it does, it is not giving any map. Also, it is returning a tuple. You see, partition is returning tuple here. Correct. It is returning tuple, and it is applying a condition. What is that condition? All the elements that are greater than 5 or equal to 5 should be done into one partition. Other elements into another partition. That's what happened here. Okay. And this partition is returning a tuple. Might be you can ask me, how do you know that? When you look at the result here, that from that itself you can understand what it is returning, whether it is returning map, whether it is returning tuple, whether it is returning list, whether it is returning set. You can see just this brackets and data inside that means it's a tuple, what we call it is also a kind of collection in Scala, in Java, or in many other languages, in Python, in many other languages. Okay. And sliding of two, probably by default it returns a non-empty iterator. It doesn't mean that it's not an object. It's an object, and you have to use a for loop and iterate it so that you can see the data. Not to have such issue, we are applying a casting to the list so that we can see the data. And what sliding is doing is it's just breaking down the list into the slides or slices with each slice having two elements here. That's what sliding of two is doing. 2, 2 means again, what is this doing here? First 10, 2, 2 means this is again, okay. If you see the difference, between the first sliding of 2 dot list and the second one 2 comma 2 means there is a small difference here. You can see here the block, this partitioning or the blocks are created like this: 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7, like that. It continues up to 10. It has created some number of blocks here, depends on that kind of this thing. So but when you say 2 comma 2, in each it is exactly dividing each element by how much. Here you can see there by 2. Of course these are, it implement pairing here, no doubt, but this time you don't see that kind of cumulative continuation there. It is giving 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And one more thing is this one where this incrementing is happening: 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, 2 3, okay. Yes, each element is, if you see here, when I say 2 comma 2, there is a difference of 2 between each element here. That's what is happening here. When you say 2 comma 3, let's see this now. Again, we are dividing into 2 pairs, and this time 1 2 4 5 and then 7 8 10, means the distance between each element is 3 here. If you see there 2 comma 3, each pair each list has 2 elements. In that, again, the distance between each element is 1 3, means 1 1 4. You can see here 1 and here 4, means the difference is 3 here. The jump is 3. Here 2, and in the other list it is 5, means the jump is 5. Sorry, 3 in between these two. Same thing is continuing. Means by this you should understand the internal algorithm now. Okay. So between two different lists, what is the difference it is showing here? Means it is applying this kind of 4 is the difference. The second one means by how much the distance should happen between two sets, and the first one means how many pairs should exist. Maybe out of my curiosity, I'll do one thing. Let me put 3 here. What happens? So you can see there it is trying to put 3 elements in each list. Can you see that? Means that's clear now. The first one represents number of elements that should be present in each list. The second parameter represents or specifies what should be the incrementation between each element between two lists. Okay, that should be clear for all of you, right? Is there any doubt on this? I'm moving back to the same thing. Hope this should be clear for all of you, right? Understood, sir? That's how sliding works. That is the algorithm, the background algorithm. That's how it works, sir. Okay. So finally, we're almost there, sir. We finished it. It's time for us to celebrate. Finally, also I have also added some explanation here, because assuming that we might face some problem later. First parameter represents number of elements in the block. Second parameter represents displacement. Perfect. Perfectly explained, sir. But so that's what we have analyzed. Even it's more technical what I wrote there. The explanation is just simple. Now finally, last two methods. With this, we have successfully discussed almost all the API of which ones are traversable, iterable, sequence, and list. Now again, when you go and look for these methods for vector, or these methods for list set or any other implementation classes, mostly this becomes repetitive. Now you know how to play with all these methods. Now you got some idea. It is same, the way we apply on any class and any implementation class is same. Only thing is there will be some difference between list to vector. We should understand that difference. Other than that, the behavior of methods don't have very big change. Okay, but there are some fundamental differences. Okay. Now finally, yes, Mother, I'll do that. Sure. Span. What span does? Probably even I just want to see it. What it is doing. It is perfectly dividing it into two lists. elements that are you can see there up to 5 one list, after 5 another list. That's what it's doing here. Less than or equal to 5 elements which are less than or equal to 5 one list, and then elements which are greater than or equal to 5 another list. It's more or less like it's behaving like partition. Probably it's more or less like partition. Okay, that's the point here. So next one, finally split it. But internally span uses two methods again. One is you can see that drop while, and one more is some other method. I don't exactly remember. So you can see the red take while and drop while. Second is created with drop while. First is created with take while. Okay, right. That's the point. Splitted 5 means same thing like span. Exactly, it is splitting with midpoint elements which are up to 5 as one list. After that, one list. That's what happened here. So finally, we reached the point of finishing methods of list. It's a long journey, right? All of you are good, sir. Now, what we do is we keep bringing those methods again and again, so that these methods get stored into your subconscious mind. Okay, when something stores into subconscious, for me or for anyone, when you memorizing it repetitively, we can just remember it for a long time. All of you know this. This is not invention. Please test it, sir. So is it done, sir? All of you? 1 minute. I think I'm not sure if I have copied and pasted. Yeah, it's pasted. No issues. All of you finished it, sir? Is it done? Okay. Hope you are clear with all these methods, right? So from tomorrow, what we do is we will pick some important methods and we do some operations on those methods. Okay, which we think that which are very important in Spark. We apply them in other implementation classes, so that at one time, at one point of time, you will be familiar with almost all the methods without any big confusion or any problem. Okay, fine, right, sir. Uh, Soon we'll start Spark also. It's more interesting because we are applying our Scala in Spark, and that's definitely much more interesting for us. Okay, so from tomorrow we have more work for practice. Okay, because right now it's more of understanding the framework, understanding the hierarchy, understanding the high level thing of all this like set and like map and like sequence, all that stuff. But from tomorrow, and also we have seen like there are so many methods you can see. Still there are few more if you should discuss. Still there are few more methods like that index of slice and index of few more there. Still we just kept them like like there. Maybe once we are free, we will also discuss all those methods. Uh, for some time, no doubt. We are not going to skip them as well. But you have seen we have discussed plenty of methods. Tomorrow we'll see how to apply more examples, and we'll try to get more analysis on these methods. Okay, there are much more. I have added some very useful scenarios here. Definitely these scenarios are quite popular in many training programs that we are doing in Scala. Usually what people teach in Spark. Okay, right. So good night, sir. We'll catch tomorrow.